Welcome back. What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of Ramadan? Do you think fasting? Ramadan is certainly the month of fasting, but it's also the month of giving. The hunger we experience while fasting helps us to relate to the hunger experienced by the poor. We visited a group of dynamic young Muslims who get together every Ramadan to make sandwiches, or Sammiches, for those in need and deliver them to shelters in the Greater Toronto area. Here is their story.
My brother, last Ramadan actually, he wanted to I guess, get some reward for the Ramadan. And what he ended up doing was he sent out an email to a group of our friends, and the title of it was Ramadan Sammich, ! Right? And ever since then, we hit it off. We started doing it on a weekly basis, and it grew from there. It was just an idea that started off in an email thread. The interesting thing about this project is that it's not starting up its own thing. Rather, it's trying to help fill in the operation gaps of other initiatives that are already existent. So we're trying to provide a fun, engaging, easy-to-do experience at people's houses to build, to make these sandwiches and give them to different shelters that are in need of them.
Initially last year we found a list of shelters in the city, and we went through and called them all. And from there we kind of did our own little survey to see, okay, how many people do they house, do they supply meals? And from there we chose, okay, these are the ones that aren't able to provide meals 3 times a day sometimes. On Sundays there are a couple that don't provide lunches, and those are the ones that we choose to deliver our meals to.
What we first do is recruit for volunteers and donations, and we use those donations to buy supplies. So we'd have different people go on different runs. We have discounts for breads, for meats, for lettuces, for apples. We get all the supplies ahead of time. We would set them up the night before. Then on Sunday morning, which is usually the days of the sandwich runs, we had have all the volunteers come up. We build an assembly line. And then usually an hour and a half later, we have 300 to 400 sandwiches ready to be distributed to the Toronto community.
So we come here at like 9 a.m. and so we have the bread. So we start off with the bread, and then after the bread, you have someone doing the mayo. And then after the mayo, it's the lettuce. I think after lettuce, it's the salami. No, I think it's the cheese, and then it's the bologna after. And then we end it off with another bread, and then we put in the Ziploc bag, and then we put in the bigger bags, which has the granola bars, the apples, and the juice boxes. Yeah, it's definitely grown. Like, I think the first run that we did last year was probably just 10 to 12 people, but every week, so ever since last Ramadan, we did once a month, and then now this Ramadan again, we're doing it every week. And so like every week it's just been growing and growing. We're getting more requests for volunteers online, and then I think today was actually one of the biggest ones. Like, there was a lot of people. This was probably one of our biggest ones actually. So I think there's probably around like 40 people that showed up today. Yeah.
When Ramadan Sammich started last year, a lot of the people that started it were people that were in university, outside, just graduated from university. But what we're noticing is that a lot of our volunteers are becoming more family-based. We're getting a lot of younger kids coming with their moms, their dads. We're getting a wide range of age groups. So the volunteer base for Ramadan Sammich has really increased in diversity in terms of age, as well as we're getting people from other faith groups as well. It did start off as a Muslim initiative, but we have all sorts of people from other faith groups joining us, seeing how awesome and how fun this initiative really is.
I think that our community can do better when it comes to volunteering, and Ramadan Sammich is a cool outlet for that. We like to think of ourselves kind of as the gateway drug into this realm of volunteerism, providing a really cool and fun atmosphere, welcoming, totally welcoming, that allows everyone to kind of get their toes wet and see what it's all about. And one of the takeaways actually has been that people come in and they realize just how easy it is to do. So that's a lot of the feedback we get from volunteers is like, oh my God, why didn't I think of this earlier? Why didn't I do this earlier? So that's, it's cool, like people get to see how easy it is to contribute and do something productive with their time.
Ramadan, it is known to be a charitable month. We fast, we abstain from food and drink all day. We donate to different causes, but what we really want to do with Ramadan Sammich is sort of do something where we can really go to the shelters, really see the needs of our local community and see where we could kind of fill in the blank, where we can help them out. And so that's where we started. And what we also wanted to do is that, yes, we did start Ramadan Sammich to do weekly runs throughout this month, but we wanted to kind of keep this initiative going. So we wanted to do, what we've done is also, we do a run every month, once a month, even outside Ramadan. So we're doing it all throughout the year.
After we're done the sandwiches, we usually play different games. Space Team on iPhones and Mafia, it's a card game. We bond that way and we reflect upon what we've just done. I feel like that's something that everybody should do, right? Just enjoy yourselves, have fun, do volunteer work, and then reflect upon it afterwards. You know, why we're doing this, who we're doing it for, and what it's all about, right?
One of the main eye-opening things for me while volunteering for Ramadan Sammich is that I saw the needs of our local community. I didn't know about how many shelters there were in the Greater Toronto area. The entire initiative just sort of came about in a fun way, like, hey, let's just go out and make sandwiches. But this initiative has allowed us to research more in the Toronto community and kind of see some of the different shelters and what they're doing. And what they've been doing many great things for the last 20, 30 years. So, and we just realized that there's so many things that they need help with. Things like just providing lunch for the next day. And that's where we can come in.
This started off as a very small idea, like all good ideas do, and it started off on an email thread that my brother sent out to a group of our friends, and alhamdulillah, all praises and thanks are due to Allah. We've been doing it on a regular basis, donating 300 sandwiches a week. Right now, we're well over 3,000 sandwiches donated throughout the year, which is really good. So if you have an idea and you can help people with it, even if it's just between you and your family, go out and do it. It's very easy to do.